This one's for Gohan and Goku.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're ranking every Piccolo fight in Dragon Ball. Unlike our Goku list, battles from the OG Dragon Ball series will be included here. But as always, there's no place for GT or the non-canon movie fights.
From up here, you look very small.
Number 23, Piccolo and Gohan vs. Prom and Hamira. Dragon Ball Super. Piccolo and Gohan are usually a dream team together, but this particular battle is a nightmare showing for both of them.
Excellent. We'll keep suppressing our energy and move closer.
Okay, but I don't see too many places for us to take cover on the way.
Facing Prom and Hamira, in the Tournaments of Power, the Universe 2 pair actually proved to be more of an effective team than our heroes. Prom's reflective ability and Hamira's sniper shots force the Universe 7 duo into hiding, but not before Piccolo loses his arm, protecting Gohan again. Master and pupil wait out the deadly combination and only emerge when Vegeta and Tien step in. No surprise this one also ranks last.
No, Piccolo!
I'm okay. What about you?
Number 22, Piccolo vs. Damom. Dragon Ball Super. Episode 119 of Dragon Ball Super starts so well for Piccolo with 2 swift eliminations. But here we learn what it was all leading up to. The episode ends in anticlimax as Piccolo bows out of the Tournament of Power a little too tamely.
Gotcha! Can't be.
Damom continues Universe 4's assault on Universe 7, but this time with some success, with his size and speed making for an impossible target. As it turns out, the tiny insect is easily found and defeated by Goku and 17, but Damom goes out with an impressive elimination to his name.
This should knock the little guy off his feet!
Number 21, Piccolo vs. Yonka. Dragon Ball Super. In the same episode, Piccolo comes up against Damom's Universe 4 teammates, Yonka.
Brace yourselves. We've been summoned from an alternate reality, and we're going to take our revenge on you.
Not a fighter himself, Yonka keeps himself hidden while using his illusion technique, conjuring up the shadows of eliminated foes. This allows Damom to attack unnoticed and forces Piccolo and Gohan to put their strategy to work to find the source. The fight itself doesn't amount to much as Yonka is easily blasted out the ring.
Maybe the stationary one controls these illusions so the other one can use them as cover to attack.
However, his unique ability definitely has a place in the Tournaments of Power, even if it could have done with more screen time. Number 20, Piccolo vs. Cell Juniors. Dragon Ball Z. When Cell unleashes his children to provoke Gohan, each of the Z fighters is matched up against a so-called Cell Junior. At least, that's how it starts out. With most of the fighters either worn out or completely outmatched, Piccolo takes it upon himself to protect the entire squad.
We have to protect him!
The power scaling is a little off in this scene, which takes some liberties from the manga version, and the Z fighters' efforts are put into perspective when Super Saiyan 2 Gohan literally turns the juniors into smoke. But credit to Anime Piccolo, who deals blows to more of the Cell Juniors than anyone else.
Nice save!
Number 19, Piccolo and Gohan vs. Goku and Tien. Dragon Ball Super. All throughout Dragon Ball Super, we're told that Piccolo and Gohan are back in training. When the pair challenged Goku and Tien to a sparring match before the Tournament of Power, we finally get to see what they've been working on. In fighting terms, Gohan does take the lead here. The young Saiyan launches an offensive, buying Piccolo time to charge and attack. A neat callback to the Namekian's first fight alongside Goku.
Try to handle this.
When Tien sensibly calls off the 2-on-2, Gohan takes on his father alone, but Piccolo gets some of the credit for whipping his pupil back into shape.
Come on! Come on!
Number 18, Piccolo vs. Cybermen, Dragon Ball Z. Grown to face the Z fighters for Vegeta and Nappa's entertainment, the Cybermen certainly deliver a show, but it doesn't all go the way of the Saiyans. Krillin does most of the work here, killing off 3 of the green humanoid creatures in revenge for Yamcha's inevitable death. But Piccolo steals the spotlight with a brutal finishing move on the last of the Cybermen. Piccolo catches them out of the air as it attacks Gohan, throws it skyward with the same hand, and launches an explosive breath cannon in a devastating display of his new power, perfectly setting up the showdown with the Saiyans.
Thanks for saving me, Piccolo.
Stay focused, Gohan. Don't make yourself an easy target.
Number 17, Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Tien, Roshi, and Jaco vs. Frieza Army, Dragon Ball Super. When Frieza returns to Earth in Dragon Ball Super, Piccolo is among those to face his new, but not necessarily improved, army of 1,000 soldiers.
What are you and your army doing here, Frieza?
Is that not obvious to you? I'm here for revenge.
In a fun team-up with some familiar faces, Piccolo is one of the main contributors in defeating the new recruits. In seasons of Dragon Ball past, this is where the likes of Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin would battle Frieza while they wait for Goku. But here, Piccolo doesn't even make it to the big bad. The rest of his involvement in this arc boils down to a losing fight with Tagoma and another sacrifice for Gohan. Number 16, Piccolo vs. Gamisalas, Dragon Ball Super. At first, it seems like the 4th universe is missing 2 combatants at the Tournament of Power. One turns out to be Damom, who was simply too small to see, and the other is Gamisalas, an invisible fighter who becomes the first of Piccolo's Universe 4 victims.
Damn, he managed to escape.
Gamisalas attacks Vegeta, 18, and last of all Gohan, which of course is when Piccolo decides to get involved. Gohan blasts the tournament arena so that Piccolo can locate their opponents in the dust. And the Namekian finishes off Gamisalas with a long overdue mouth energy wave.
Invisibility's a neat trick, but without it you're kind of pathetic, aren't you?
Number 15, Piccolo vs. Rubolt, Dragon Ball Super.
Well then I guess I'm dancing with you.
That works for me.
Speaking of long overdue Piccolo techniques, the Hellzone Grenade is one of the character's most popular and barely used attacks, and hasn't been seen in canon since its debut midway through Dragon Ball Z. That all changes at the Tournament of Power when Piccolo is challenged by Rubolt of Universe 10. Rubolt goes on an all-out offensive until Piccolo begins to fire energy blasts everywhere but at his opponents.
That's right. You're through!
The balls of energy surround Rubolt, and he's out of the ring before he even knows what's hit him. It's a short fight, but it's one of Piccolo's best tournament moments. Number 14, Piccolo vs. Kami, Dragon Ball. From the Tournament of Power to the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, with over 400 episodes of Dragon Ball canon between them. In the semi-finals, Piccolo goes up against Kami, who has entered in disguise to do what he knows Goku won't, and kill his evil other half.
So pathetic. You were always the weaker half.
Hey, what do you mean?
The fight is essentially build-up, perfectly setting the stakes for Piccolo's inevitable battle with Goku, but features some creative beats of its own. The two Namekians hint at their origins by speaking in their native language, and Piccolo reverses an evil containment wave to take a dramatic win.
Evil containment wave!
Number 13, Piccolo vs. Dr. Gero, Dragon Ball Z. When Trunks comes from the future to warn of two powerful androids, 19 and 20, don't quite live up to the billing.
Well, Piccolo, it seems that you have found me.
The former is overpowered by Vegeta, and Piccolo steps up to face Android 20, aka Dr. Gero, to put his new power to the test. It's a dormant showing from Piccolo. Gero can't even land a single blow, and the Namekian shows no mercy after having his energy drained by the evil Doctor. Androids 17 and 18 show up soon after to give our heroes a real test, but more on them later.
One day you'll learn that the more you hurt others, the harder your life becomes. It's simple. Your desire to kill is killing you.
Number 12, Piccolo vs. Frost, Dragon Ball Super. By the time Frost appears in Dragon Ball Super, it's been a minute since Piccolo had a one-on-one fight to be proud of.
That being said, I certainly don't plan to lose either.
Everybody has such little confidence in me.
Initially, Frost appears to be the not-so-evil Universe 6 version of Frieza, but we're already suspicious when he beats Goku in the Tournament of Destroyers. Piccolo steps up with little chance of winning, but uses all of his wit and techniques to trap Frost in his extended arms, all the while charging a special beam cannon.
Two things are gonna happen. I hold you in place as I charge myself up, and then special beam cannon.
The Namekian is hit by an illegal poison dart before he can finish the job, but it's a much-needed moral victory for Piccolo at this point in the story. Number 11, Piccolo vs. Krillin, Dragon Ball. It's the quarterfinals of the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, and Krillin is up against Piccolo Jr. in a fight no one expects him to win, least of all Piccolo himself.
Say what you will, little man. You're still a loser.
We'll see who loses!
But Krillin is full of surprises, landing the first blow and avoiding elimination by revealing he's learned to fly.
It's over, Krillin!
It worked!
Piccolo has his moments here too. The former Demon King pulls out all the stops as he begins to take his opponent seriously, including the after image and demon hand techniques. Krillin eventually forfeits the fight, but he plays his part in a spirited match that offers the very best of Dragon Ball.
How disappointing. I didn't want to kill him. Not before breaking every bone in his body.
Number 10, Piccolo vs. Gohan, Dragon Ball Super. Piccolo spends most of his time talking about training with Gohan, but ahead of the Tournament of Power, we actually get to see what it looks like in one of Dragon Ball's best sparring matches.
Be glad that I got these sensu beans, Gohan, because from here on out, things get tough.
Oh, I'm ready, Piccolo.
Piccolo shows off his own power by beating Gohan at Super Saiyan 2, before drawing out his pupil's full strength with a motivational speech.
If you can't tap into your true power, all the motivation in the world won't be enough to protect Videl and Pan.
It seems Piccolo is outmatched by Gohan's ultimate form, but the student is yet to become the master. Piccolo uses Gohan's overconfidence against him in a way only Piccolo can, by allowing his own arm to be cut off and blasting him in the back with it. Number 9, Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Tien, and Chaozu vs. Nappa, Dragon Ball Z. Piccolo and the Z Fighters' extended battle with Nappa never really goes their way, but this fight does more for Piccolo's character than his stats.
Now, let's try a direct attack before he powers up again!
Sure, Piccolo gets in a few shots here and there, putting his year-long training in preparation for the Saiyans to good use. But even more impressive is the way he guides Gohan and Krillin safely through the fight, or at least until Goku arrives, even giving his own life for Gohan along the way.
Something's changed. No matter what happens to you, Gohan, I will always be there to protect you.
Piccolo's sacrifice completes an early redemption arc for Goku's former rival and lays the foundation for his relationship with Gohan moving forward. Number 8. Piccolo vs. Imperfect Cell, Dragon Ball Z. After defeat to androids 17 and 18, Piccolo merges with Kami to become arguably the most powerful of Earth's protectors.
So, allow me to introduce myself!
With this fusion, Piccolo is able to track down Cell, the latest of Dr. Gero's android creations. Here, Piccolo almost puts a stop to the Cell games before they even happen, shocking the whole cast, who can sense his new power. Cell has a few tricks of his own though, using Piccolo's own techniques against him and escaping in the nick of time. Their rematch a few episodes later is a lot more one-sided, but we prefer to remember the time Piccolo became the first to encounter a main villain.
It's not your power! You stole it by taking the lives of innocent people!
What? Bull stole it? They're part of greatness now.
Number 7. Piccolo and Gohan vs. Cell Max, Dragon Ball Super Superhero. The latest entry in the anime canon, Dragon Ball Super Superhero finally reinstates Gohan and Piccolo as protagonists.
Get big!
What?
Big! Like you did when you fought Goku at the World Martial Arts Tournament!
Though the former gets the movie's standout moments, transforming into Gohan Beast and defeating Cell Max, Piccolo undoubtedly provides the assist here. With a new transformation of his own, as well as the return of Giant Piccolo, the Namekian holds off the rampaging android long enough for Gohan to charge one of his mentor's techniques. Piccolo wrestles Cell Max into position, just as Goku once did for him, and Gohan fires off a special beam cannon to complete the ultimate tribute.
Special Beam Cannon!
Number 6. Piccolo and Goku vs. Raditz, Dragon Ball Z.
Alright, let's do this!
Dragon Ball Z's first villain, Raditz, lands on Earth, takes Piccolo's strongest blast, then kidnaps Gohan, forcing Goku and Piccolo to put their differences aside to fight the Saiyan threat. In the present Dragon Ball, Raditz's power level would barely register to the pair, but at this time, Goku's brother was no joke. Despite both losing their weighted armor, neither Goku or Piccolo can land a single blow on their opponents.
Beam Cannon! Fire! Kakarot!
It takes Goku sacrificing himself to Piccolo's first special beam cannon to defeat Raditz, which ultimately begins Piccolo's journey from rival to ally. Number 5. Piccolo vs. Gamma 2, Dragon Ball Super Superhero.
Before you bother asking me who I am, that's still classified.
One of the android brothers created by Dr. Hedo, Gamma 2 first encounters Piccolo in the mountains, and though both live to fight another day, the Namekian definitely comes off worse. Their rematch, however, is arguably the best one-on-one battle in the movie. It's inventive in execution and important in story terms, as Piccolo begins to convince the android that he's on the wrong side. But there's only one highlight here. After having his potential unlocked by Shenron, Piccolo emerges from a knockdown in a completely new form. Known as Orange Piccolo, the transformation marks one of the character's most important moments in recent Dragon Ball. The name could use some work though.
Well now, thank you, Shenron. That little extra went a long way.
Number 4. Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta vs. Frieza, Dragon Ball Z. After being killed by Nappa, Piccolo is wished back to life on Namek, the first time he has ever experienced his home planet. But he hardly gets to enjoy his resurrection for long, and is thrust straight into a fight with none other than Frieza.
It's time to finish off this little game.
Having fused with Nail, Piccolo has just enough power and knowledge of his opponent to take the upper hand against the Tyrant. Frieza turns the fight with a second transformation, but that doesn't take away from Piccolo's dramatic entrance here.
So tell me, how do I look? I may not win any beauty contests, but I'll beat your tail!
Hope that offers some consolation, because that beam barrage looks like it hurts. Number 3, Piccolo and Gohan vs Saunel and Pilina. Dragon Ball Super. It's fitting that Piccolo and Gohan's best tournament of power fight comes against a pair of Namekians.
We're picking up where we left off.
And this time, we're gonna finish you.
I guess there's no choice.
Saunel and Pilina give the duo quite a bit of trouble, and it's soon revealed the pair have fused with every other Universe 6 Namekian to boost their survival chances. Here, Kami and Nail make a long-awaited reappearance to remind Piccolo what he fights for. We get a mouth energy wave and scattershot from Namekians on different sides, and of course, the fight ends on the species' most popular move. Piccolo fires a special beam cannon through both opponents, setting up Gohan to blast them off the stage, as their teamwork and strategy reaches its highest point yet.
Hope you're at peace. Special beam cannon!
Number 2, Piccolo vs Android 17. Dragon Ball Z. With Android 16 dead set on killing Goku, and 17 and 18 kind of along for the ride, Piccolo is all that stands between them and the Super Saiyan. Now a Super Namekian himself, having just fused with Kami, Piccolo challenges Android 17 in what would turn out to be one of the most even fights in Dragon Ball history.
He beat me. How? Just how could he beat me?
The two go exactly blow for blow, each using techniques that suit their own style, and the fight is interrupted before a winner can be declared. In this case, the only outcome, because no one actually deserved to lose this fight.
So long, Android!
In fact, the pair shake hands when they meet again in Super, a clear sign they are thinking the same thing.
I look forward to this.
Good. And so do I.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Piccolo vs Goku. Dragon Ball.
You should feel honored.
Why is that?
Because I am your executioner.
Since it aired before the franchise hit new heights of popularity with Dragon Ball Z, the original battle between Goku and Piccolo isn't talked about enough. Seeking revenge for his past incarnation, Piccolo orchestrates the World Tournament to make sure he meets Goku in the finale, upping the stakes for his nemesis by trapping Kami inside his own body. In a highlight reel of the character's best techniques, both take the upper hand at several points in a brutal match that spans 6 episodes.
I've deprived you of the use of your body. And now, Goku, I will deprive you of your life!
Goku wins despite breaking every bone in his body, ultimately showing mercy to his rival on the path to redemption, and Dragon Ball is so much better for it. Agree with our list? Where would you rank the non-canon beatdown of the Cooler Force? Let us know in those comments below.
Silence, you worms! I am King Piccolo reincarnated!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.